Okay, we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with this evening's live stream. 1 minute late today. I had some technical issues, so running a little bit late, but hopefully it won't affect any more of the live stream this evening. We'll be taking a look at some stories that have caught my attention in the press here in Spain. We'll take a look at some comments that have been left by you guys, the viewers on the channel as well, and we'll go into the live chat area and see what's happening there. See what's bubbling away in that live chat area. Now, we'll get straight into the news, and a bit of a feud happened last week between the Spanish Prime Minister and Elon Musk. Not sure if you're familiar with that name. Elon Musk, tech titan, wants to send people into space. I think we've got other more important issues to deal with first, but Mr. Musk wants to send people into space. And of course, he criticized Spain's immigration policy, the latest one. And Sanchez has replied to Mr. Musk, telling him that Mars can wait, humanity cannot, over migrant regularisation. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez has publicly responded to tech billionaire Elon Musk after Musk criticised Spain's extraordinary regularisation of undocumented migrants. Writing on X, Sanchez remarked that Mars can wait, humanity cannot, in a pointed reply to Musk's reaction to the government's decision to legalise the status of up to 500,000 migrants. Musk, whose aerospace company SpaceX aims to send missions to Mars, had retweeted a post claiming Spain was legalizing migrants to defeat the far right, adding only, "Wow." Sanchez's comment framed the policy as a humanitarian priority. The regularisation, approved under an urgent procedure, is expected to benefit around 500,000 people and could generate 26 million euros in administrative fees. So a brief feud there between the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez and tech billionaire Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, saying on X or whatever it's called nowadays, nothing more than wow, when he found out about Spain's plan to legalise around 500,000, could be more, could be 800,000, could be 1 million people that get legalised with this process, because as we know, Mr. Musk, not a fan of mass migration, I don't think. A bit ironic considering where he originates from and where he lives now. But that's a comment, that's a story that's a conversation, I should say, for another day. But Mr. Sanchez there, going ahead with the regularisation, legalisation, whatever you want to call it, of the illegal or irregular migrants that live in this country. And plenty of debate around that topic at the moment. Second piece of news now, and homes for under 20,000 euros in Spain. Modular housing is an option if you have land. Homes costing under 20,000 euros do exist in Spain, but they are modular houses which require owning land and dealing with some bureaucracy. Prices, fast build times and flexibility are driving growing interest in factory-built homes, seen by some as a partial response to Spain's housing crisis. For around 19,500 euros, buyers can purchase a 37 square metre modular home, sometimes even less. Demand is rising according to Solutions House, based in Alicante, and also selling via Amazon. Founder David Carbonell says many customers turn to modular housing after being priced out of the traditional market. Industry figures linked to the trend to soaring property prices and changing lifestyles. Alu Casa notes growing interest from private buyers seeking practical, efficient homes. While not a replacement for conventional housing, modular homes are increasingly seen as a flexible alternative. So another option to the housing crisis here in Spain, modular homes. You can buy them on Amazon, believe it or not. Not sure if they would arrive in the normal Amazon way or whether there would be a special delivery for that. But of course, the hitch is that you need the land in the first place to be able to plant your modular home down on. And also dealing with the bureaucracy when it comes to probably getting it connected to the electricity, getting it connected to the water, all of those things and all of the other bureaucratic procedures that you would have to go through with one of these homes. But it's an option for under 20,000 euros living in your 37 square meter modular home. Cheap, but again, you'll need to get land. But as we know, there's an abundance of land here in Spain, vacant land, but of course it's in places where people don't want to live. And the final piece of news, and if you're coming to Spain on holiday looking on Airbnb for a place to stay, you might want to avoid these neighbourhoods, as we can see here, the most dangerous neighbourhoods in Spain. Areas often advised to avoid. Spain generally enjoys lower crime rates than many other European countries, but official data show that some urban neighbourhoods experience significantly higher levels of crime, including violent robbery, drug trafficking and theft. According to reports from the Ministry of the Interior, these areas are identified based on crime statistics, residents' perceptions of insecurity, and long-standing social and economic challenges. Among the neighbourhoods most frequently cited are El Raval in Barcelona, often highlighted for pickpocketing and street crime, La Mina, also in Barcelona, El Puche in Almería, Las 3,000 Viviendas in Seville, Los Pajaritos, also in Seville, El Príncipe, which apparently is the most dangerous neighbourhood in Spain, of course, not mainland Spain, but in Spain, in Ceuta, El Cabañal in Valencia, Cañada Real Madrid, Distrito Sur Córdoba, and San Cristóbal, also in Madrid. Experts stress that conditions can vary street by street and that regeneration efforts are underway in many of these areas, but visitors are generally advised to exercise extra caution. And I, for one, am a person who avoids these neighbourhoods when I travel around the country. If I'm going to Córdoba, I won't be going to Distrito Sur. Here in Madrid, San Cristóbal, the closest I've ever come to San Cristóbal was taking a bus through there one time, but apparently it's got worse since then. So, yeah, you have to be careful in these neighbourhoods here in Spain because they are high crime areas. And we saw there that one in Ceuta, El Príncipe neighbourhood, apparently the most dangerous neighbourhood in Spain. We've got one just up the road here, La Cañada Real. Various people have decided to live there, and it often is a hotspot for crime, drug use, etc. And of course, go in to that neighbourhood on your own. Well, whatever the expression is. Be careful. That's the bottom line here. Be careful in those neighbourhoods. That would be my advice. We'll look at some comments that have been left on the channel now by you guys, the viewers. We've got some interesting comments given the content in recent times on the channel. This one here from Blu-ray fan. If Spain is regularising, in inverted commas, all these people, it is actually legal. Is it actually legal within EU laws? I just ask as some of these people may eventually choose to move to other EU countries who have not voted on this. Thanks, Blu-ray fan. Well, the fact of the matter is that when you become a resident here in Spain, like myself, I just can't move to another European country, and I've been here for a long time. I think the longer you are here and the type of residency that you have will determine that. But if you're just here on a working visa, for example, or a residency working visa, you can't just move to France tomorrow or Germany tomorrow or Italy the next day and have the same rights as you would here in Spain. It doesn't work that way. Maybe you can become a comunitario, get that type of residency, which means that you do have more flexibility within the European Union. And if you end up getting Spanish citizenship, you could easily move to another country and live there without any dramas, become a resident in, let's say, France, Portugal, wherever you want to go to. But just because you come here and you get a residency permit for 1 year doesn't mean that tomorrow you're going to be able to move to France and enjoy residency status there. Doesn't work that way. Thanks for the comment, Blu-ray. Another one here from Jasmine. I do not think that's a good plan with the illegal immigrants. It's going to bring more crime, in my opinion. Thanks, Jasmine. Going to bring more crime in your opinion. Again, the statistics, I don't know whether they back those claims up or not. That's one of the biggest calls on social media. You see it here, you see it there, you see it everywhere. As far as this topic is concerned, immigrants bring more crime. Again, is it true? I don't know. Some people maybe end up committing crimes because they're desperate. They don't get the opportunities that they maybe think they were going to get, and they end up stealing, or they end up doing what they do. But I'm almost certain that the majority of people that set out for a new life are not thinking of just committing crimes the day that they arrive. I can almost guarantee that. But it's the perception some people have. What can we do? Let's have a look at another one here, if I can get it on the screen. There we go. That's Jasmine's. One here from Jonathan. I'm Spanish American. It'll only be a few years until Spaniards get so fed up with this that we start seeing similar immigration actions that are currently happening in the USA. Jonathan, all I can say to your comment is I hope not. Because what I'm seeing now on the news, social media, of what's happening in some parts of the United States is an absolute disgrace. And anyone who supports that should be ashamed of themselves. What's going on there? And I don't think that'll happen here. You never know. It depends what political parties get put in. But if it does happen, I'll be on a plane out of here. I can guarantee that. Thanks, Jonathan, for the comment. Another one here from, one here firstly from Marco. Immigrants are usually young, ambitious people essential for countries with ageing populations and low birth rates. Thanks, Marco. Yeah, basically that's the bottom line. Necessary. You don't have a local population to do the jobs. People need to come in. All those jobs disappear. It's as simple as that. Jobs disappear means the businesses close. People don't have access to certain services because they're just not around, or they have access to fewer services, let's say. So it's the way it is. So thanks for the comment there, Marco. I would agree with Marco there. One here from Marcus. The extranjeria, or the foreign officers, were a nightmare already. I can only begin to imagine what they're going to be like in 2026. I'm so glad that I have my Spanish passport now and never have to set foot in one of those offices again. Thanks, Marcus. Yes, that is a reality of the foreign offices here in Spain. I'm not sure where exactly Marcus would have gone through the processes back in the day, but my experiences here in Madrid were not pleasant ones. Of getting my residency when I first came, having to queue up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a cold winter's day with 100 other people. Then when the doors opened, everybody rushed to the front and went and scrambled in, and then people that stayed behind queuing like myself missed out, had to come back the next day. Then other experiences as well, of going to places that I've never been to before and having to stand in a queue with my papers waiting to get them signed, sealed, and given the okay to have my residency. It's a terrible process. It's a terrible process. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen in this country, the immigration process, getting your residency done. Having to go to a police station where the police are fed up with having to deal with this type of thing. And Marcus is exactly right. What's it going to be like with 500,000, I should say, extra people going through this process? It's going to be an absolute nightmare. But it is what it is. One here from Jared. Few Brits will qualify. Naturalisation and citizenship rules require fluency in the Spanish language. This new change is intended to regularise those living in Spain from Hispanic countries that already speak Spanish and fit well into the national labour pool. Thanks, Gerard. But again, you're wrong. To become a Spanish citizen, you don't need to have fluent Spanish. You only have to have a level A2. And if that's fluent, I'm a monkey's uncle. It's not. It's A2. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Sí, vivo en Murcia. Vivo en Alicante. Me gusta comer patatas fritas los fines de semana. A2, right? It's not fluent. And there will be some British people that are going to apply for this. I can almost guarantee it as well. There'll be people from the United States. There'll be people from Canada. Maybe not as many as there would be from, or there will be from Latin American countries, because that's a natural immigration route for people from those countries. They come here, they speak the language. You're right. But there will be people from English-speaking countries lining up to get their official residency done. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I saw it back in 1999 or whenever there was one. I know people that did it. Americans, people from the US. And there will be more. And I guarantee there'll be people from the UK as well. Want to hear from AJ? Just so you get your facts straight, Peru is not a third country as you put it. It's a developing middle-income country with one of the best economies in Latin America. Look it up, and people from Peru are in the same Ibero-America category, which after 2 years of living in Spain get citizenship, plus have other benefits as other Ibero-American countries in Spain. Now, this comment went on to end up basically insulting me, saying that I'm ignorant with some of the stuff that I'm saying on this channel. The only thing I'm going to say to this person is that, mate, if you don't understand what I say, or if you don't understand what I'm talking about, just don't waste your time with stupid comments like that. Peru is a third country according to the European rules and regulations. You have understood that I said that Peru was a third world country. Couldn't be further from the truth. Why did I mention Peru the other day? Because it's a third country, like Australia, like the US, like Canada, the European Union, okay? If you are outside the European Union and maybe Switzerland and maybe Liechtenstein, you're a third country. Ajax or whatever your name was, right? AJ. So instead of wasting your time, as I said, and just writing rubbish comments, get your facts right, mate. A third country in the EU context is any nation that is not a member of the European Union or the EEA, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, or, for most purposes, Switzerland. Definition, countries outside the 27 EU member states. Examples, the UK, USA, China, Canada, and Peru. Third country. Twit. Now, we'll look at the background photo here. First, we're going to go into the live chat and check out what's happening. I'll just calm down a little bit. And we'll look at the photo. We'll recognize the photo, which was taken by, I think, Barbara. I'll just check my facts on that. I think Barbara was the person who sent this photo through. Just let me check if it was Barbara. Yes, it was. And it is a place called Setenil de las Bodegas, which is in, I think, Malaga, near Ronda. I might have got the province wrong, but anyway, it's in the south of Spain. So thank you, Barbara, for sending that photo through. And if you have a similar picture you'd like to see on the backdrop, the email address is on the screen now, spainspeaks@gmail.com. Feel free to send those through. Also, if you are watching the video and you haven't hit the like icon yet, please do us a favor and hit it for me, please, or click the like button. We'll see if we can get up to a decent tally of likes today, currently sitting at 44. So hit the like icon if you have not done so already. Thank you very much. People that have supported this channel in recent times, whether it's on the Super Thanks, Buying Me a Coffee, Patreon, longer-term supporters, or the channel members of this YouTube channel, thank you very much for that support. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for that support. Now, I'm going to go into the chat section, see what's bubbling away there at the moment. Let's see what's happening. Let me open it up. Some familiar names in the chat section, as always. Barbara, the taker of the photo that I have behind me here. Buenas tardes, coming in from Playa Flamenca. 17 degrees there. Congratulations to Carlos Alcaraz for winning the Oz Open for the first time at just the age of 22. Yes, I think that was this morning here on the television. I saw it, and yeah, went to 4 sets, I think. What was his name? The other tennis player, Djokovic, got off to a good start, but couldn't keep it up, of course. And Alcaraz taking the title for the first time. Now, I think he has won all 4 majors, not in the same year, of course, but he's won all 4 of them, 22 years of age. Also important to note that Djokovic, I think, is 38. So I would say that any 38-year-old coming up against the 22-year-old, it's going to be tough. Janet coming in from Oxford, the rain never ceases. Same here, Janet. Very, very wet winter. Rivers are overflowing. Dams are having to have their floodgates opened, releasing the excess water in many parts of the country. And Janet's also saying here that Seville, raining a lot too. Welcome to Glasgow. Yes, visiting Malaga. Lovely sunny day there. That's it. So the weather's a bit complicated at the moment. And if you've been here on holidays recently looking for good weather, you might not have found it. Sani coming in. Good evening. Hope everyone has had a good weekend. Thanks, Sani. Kristen is this, coming in from Denver, Colorado. 14 degrees there today. No complaints. Sounds warm for Denver. Amanda's coming in from a chilly Shropshire. What else we got going on here? Let's have a look. Billy coming in from Murcia, down there in the southeast of the country. A bit of wind over the last few days, but today was nice. Good to see you in the chat, Billy. John in the chat, can't make it today, looking after the grandkids, but we'll catch up later. Good one, John. Hope to see you then. Mike coming in from a cold part of the world, but it's only 8 below there today, Vermilion, Alberta, Canada. Kev coming in from southeastern Spain as well. Orihuela medieval market today. Good opportunity to practice Spanish. I only heard one other couple speaking English all day in Orihuela. There we go. Lars saying, well, one or both is on ketamine, probably referring to the 2 people that we mentioned before. Mr. Sanchez and Mr. Musk. Not sure who would be on ketamine, but maybe one or maybe both. I don't know. Marianne coming in from the US, staying in the loop about events and conditions in Spain. Thank you very much. Thanks for that. What else we got going on here? Stephen coming in from the UK, hoping everyone's had a good weekend, watching from damp and chilly North London. Thanks for that, Stephen. Fluttergirl, Toronto. I'm tired of Musk giving his opinion. Yeah, very well. He's got a platform, hasn't he? Some other people have got their own platforms as well. Anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole. Imogen, hi Stuart, been living in Alicante for 8 years and will be entitled to this new residency entitlement, or is it only for certain foreigners? It's for everybody, Imogen, if you can prove that you have been living in Spain prior to 2025. Prior to December 2025, if you can prove that is the case, then you can hand in your application and you will be able to take advantage of this. Again, is it for people that are perhaps looking to be or looking to get a job? I don't know if that's the certain characteristic, but I imagine that it's open for everybody who finds themselves in an irregular situation here in Spain and they want to get their residency. Johnny, hello from San Diego. Good on Pedro Sanchez. Can't stand Elon Musk. Musk and wait, humanity can't. Brilliant. Thanks, Johnny. I'm sure a lot of people probably would agree with that. A lot of people won't, of course, because they're pro-Musk and company. But, again, what's he doing putting his hand in or getting involved in European politics? I mean, what's the purpose there, Mr. Musk, you know? What's the purpose? Oh, that's right. Yeah, they think that Europe's heading down the wrong path, right? Casa del Sol Boutique Bed and Breakfast. In my opinion, as Canadians and Norwegians, we spend a fortune in years on paperwork just to get permanent residency. Meanwhile, current policies allow illegal immigrants to obtain 1 year. Well, it's the way it works. Casa Boutique Bed and Breakfast. How can it be legal? Because Spain doesn't have the capacity to process so many people in normal terms, obviously. So they have to do these amnesties, which is like they just throw a blanket over everybody who finds themselves in a certain situation. It's been done on numerous occasions before. I think at least maybe 3, maybe 4 times in the past. And yeah, I went through a normal residency process. It wasn't easy. It was tough. It cost money. But I'm not going to let these things annoy me. Andrew, article in Vox de Galicia. Galicia has had the heaviest rainfall in the world for the month of January. There we go. Heaviest rainfall in the world for the month of January. Last saying here that freedom of movement within the EU is a right of all of the EU citizens, not for foreigners abroad. That is true. I think that's what I said last. Jeff saying Musk is right. Pedro Sanchez is bad for the future of Spain by granting illegals rights that are denied to those who want to emigrate legally. This guy cares about retaining power and that's it. Well, Jeff, it's got nothing to do with votes because people can't vote. So it might work against him. But these people are not going to be voting in the next elections. I can guarantee it. So let's not believe those ideas. Hello, amigos, all the friends watching from a very chilly Florida. Don't know how you do it. 3 degrees in the morning. Time for a trip down to the lovely isle of the Isla de Margarita in Venezuela. Good luck to you, Dave. Good luck to you. New Spanish immigrants going to Europe. Immigration rules didn't bother them when coming to Spain. Why should it hold them back from going elsewhere once they have Spanish residency? Because, Kev, they would be living illegally in another country. So why would you do that? If you don't speak the language, why would you? If you're from Venezuela, why would you go to Germany? I don't think it's going to happen, but maybe one person might. Don't know. Jimbo changing the topic here. Sports news, tennis Australian Open final. Thanks for that, Jimbo. We've had an update on that already. YouTube is coming in from Torrevieja. Floods and cold weather. Mild there. There we go. Let's hope it carries on that way. Warren coming in from San Antonio, Texas. Warming there. What else we got going on here? Hi, Stu from a wet Bogota. Recently had a house built in Alicante and the workers were South American and they were fantastic. A plus to any society. Again, Raymond, the majority of people are hard-working individuals that just want to try and make a living. That's all they want to do. I mean, let's not go into this too much more deeply, but it's the facts, you know. The majority of people want to have a chance. They come from places where perhaps they don't have a chance for whatever reason. And they come to an economy that is welcoming them at the moment. We saw this back in the 2000s, but unfortunately the Spanish economy crashed and people had to go back to where they came from, which is worse. I was speaking to somebody from Ecuador today. What's the situation in Ecuador? Terrible, he says. Terrible. Here, what's this guy doing? He's got a job. He's got a family. He's contributing to society. But anyway. Thanks, Fluttergirl. Yeah, well, that's what it is, isn't it? Iggy coming in from a wet Hyen. Kevin's just saying the pressure valve release. Problem, Kev, is that people that interpret what somebody says badly and then go on to leave a comment that ends up abusing somebody because they've misunderstood what you're trying to say. I think the world's full of misinterpretation, misunderstanding, and it's a shame. A third country doesn't mean that you're talking about a third world country, okay? Third country in the terms of the European Union is exactly that, okay? For that person before, AJ. I mean, if he hadn't have gone on to abuse me at the end, calling me ignorant or whatever he did, I mean, go and check the comment out for yourself. But anyway. Dave, I found a place for a menu when you come to visit. Outback Steakhouse. Soup, salad, burger, fries, and a cheesecake for $15 before tax and tip. Well, that's important, Dave. What's the tax and the tip there? We're getting up to 25? No drink, but not bad considering. Well, if I ever get there, Dave, we'll hit that place. What else? Yusuf, stew's on fire. I do understand when ignorant people try to insult you when they're clearly in the wrong, but they're too uneducated to understand what. Well, yeah, I don't want to go that far, Yusuf, but, it is what it is. Comment section always open. I prefer to have it open. Some channels just turn it off automatically. They just don't want to deal with this type of stuff. Greetings, Stu and all from Torrevieja. Good to see you. You are free to do as you are told. Gigi's coming in from lovely 28-degree and sunny Arizona. Steve saying, can Aussies have 2 passports in Spain? No. Lars saying, rain, come and visit A Coruña in winter. Then you can talk about rain. Well, we just saw before, Lars. Wettest place in the world. Galicia, I think. What else we got going on here? We've got a super chat from NVN. Buen inicio del año. Saludos cordiales. Thank you very much. Very generous of you supporting the channel and helping to keep this channel going, which is important. What else we got going on here? Jimbo will be back on Tuesday to talk about basketball news. Can't wait for that, Jimbo. See you then. Kieran saying, Musk will soon realise his mistake when the USA does not have enough people to look after an ageing population. Yeah, again, it is what it is, isn't it? I mean, it is what it is. Let's leave it there. Honduran lads I know quite well doing building work here. 2 out of 3 want to go elsewhere as they think they will earn more money. Well, again, Kev, they can't go elsewhere because you can't just pick up and go to another country. Otherwise, you're just sitting in the same situation again if you want to live as an illegal alien all your life. What else we got going on here? Joe loves the photo. Thanks, Barbara, for that. Good one, Joe. Good to see you in the chat. Lisa's saying, hi, Stu, as a 15-year permanent Spanish resident from the US, cannot vote in local or national, must be a citizen national to vote. Exactly. Some people will no doubt go for their Spanish nationality after 2 or 3 years, whatever the process is, and then they will be able to vote. Are they all going to vote for Pedro Sanchez? Probably not. Why would they? Just because they got granted residency? Don't think so. But anyway. And Lisa's saying that her experience in the south was great. The extranjeria. Well, Madrid's a different story. I suppose it depends where you get it done, I suppose, what the situation is like in that city. But in Madrid, it's not the nicest place in the world to get it done, I will say. Just because of the amount of people that live in Madrid, I suppose. I suppose that's the reason. Now I'm going to wrap this live stream up. It's been a pleasure as always. I'll be back again on Tuesday, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Hope to see you then. If anyone's going to come back after today's rants, we'll see. But anyway, it's been a pleasure. Hasta luego. Hasta entonces. Adios. Bye-bye from Spain.